Alright, Lancer, so with Nelio leaving in just 10 days' time, the big question right now is who is going to release after Nelio? Grimmjow is a character that is at the top of everyone's list, given that he has been delayed 2 times now. Surely they're not going to delay the character for a 3rd time. They delayed him. Shueisha, please. Shueisha, please. Let me have my Panther character, bro. I am almost begging at this point. I am in desperate need of new strike characters. I even started working on Sergeant with the idea to use him alongside Grimmjow. Strike is in need of new characters, please. But you might be wondering, with Grimmjow being delayed potentially again, who is the next character to release? Well, right now it does seem to be Mayuri. He has kind of been in the game's file since the game's launch, so we knew he was eventually going to release. Mayuri is also a popular character, and he also has been playable in the game, more so in regards as a playable boss, right? And through Mayuri's boss fight, we do see how he potentially is going to play, more so in regards to incorporating his Bankai, but we didn't need to see that in-game for us to believe that his Bankai will be playable. But the reason why we do know Mayuri potentially is next, or more so even confirmed at this point, is that they have been starting to tease him. We did get this post today with pretty much a bunch of Mayuri characters in a bowl, and then we also did get another news post confirming that we are going to get a live stream in around 3 days' time with the idea that Mayuri is going to be spoken about in that potential stream. So at least as of right now, Mayuri does seem to be the next character, and with that in mind, what is he going to be? Well, as of right now, and keep in mind, things can change, right? When we talk about leaked or data mined stuff, you never know, right? Quick, just to preface, Nelio was data mined to be a slash tactic unit, and then she ended up being a thrust tactic unit. So if we say one thing in this video or right now at this time, and he doesn't end up being that, that just means he got changed, right? It's just that simple. But as of right now, Mayuri does seem to be a spirit type support character, which is very interesting to say the least, right? And maybe about time. Over the last few months, we've been getting 4 assault characters, we've gotten a few tactic units, but we've yet to really see what a support character that in a way can rival Kisuke is going to like. A limited time SSR support for a particular team. And maybe it does make sense for Mayuri to potentially one-up Kisuke as a character. But with that in mind, at least in my opinion, as we just speculate on what Mayuri could potentially offer in this game, the way Kisuke is designed, he's a very good team support character, increasing attack percentage, crit damage percentage, very easily gets his ultimate, where he then provides more damage for the team, especially if you get his B2, right? And the best part about Kisuke is that his buffs are pretty much universal. You really can use this character in any team. It's kind of funny, right? You go into any character's advanced lineup and Kisuke is just there, even if they are a different attribute. Every team just gets better with Kisuke. Maybe Kisuke is a bit too good. I don't think he is, but, you know, Kisuke is a really good unit, right? And the fact that he's, like, also in the standard banner is actually really cool. So, considering how good Kisuke is, I think this next support character, and therefore future support characters, are going to have to be really good. One, in a way, to be better than Kisuke, as he is a standard unit. These new characters are going to be limited. You kind of expect power creep to be a thing, right? Like we have been seeing. Kenpachi was better than Ichigo. Nelio is better than Kaname. And we don't really have any spirit characters to compare these 2 characters with, but every limited character thus far has just been really good. And even as far as, you know, DPS characters are concerned, they have been getting better and better with each new character. So that's why I'm really hoping Grimmjow can release soon, because one, I need a strike character, but I'm also excited for his potential gameplay. But considering that Kisuke is an overall universal team booster, basically given like a certain percentage of crit damage and also a 70% attack boost, I would expect Mayuri, or maybe future support characters, to be very restrictive in the team that they can be used in. I don't think they are going to be universal support characters like Kisuke, and instead are going to be very similar to the SR characters, where ideally you only really want to use them in their team. Yachiru in Slash, Momo in Spirit, Rangiku in Thrust, and technically even Nemu in the Strike team. But obviously, given that character's SSR status, and also being a limited character, and also being a new character, you can expect the damage buffs they are going to give to be relatively crazy, maybe, right? Otherwise, why would I pull for Mayuri if I have access to Kisuke? So I definitely wouldn't be surprised if we start to see some crazy attack percentage increases, maybe a crit rate increase, crit damage, maybe even ult charge for the team. I'm just kind of making stuff up right now, but stuff I would like to see on a new support character if it is going to be Mayuri. But I would only really expect it to be strictly for that team, right? So if he is a spirit support, he's only going to be boosting spirit support characters. That way, in a way, Kisuke's still going to have value, right? You're just not going to be using Kisuke in a spirit team. You'll be using the new character, Mayuri. So with that in mind too, there's a lot of potential with Mayuri as a character, right? If we talk from a gameplay standpoint. Because if we have a look at the boss right now in Frenzy Feast, we can kind of see Mayuri, right? This boss fight just pretty much has Mayuri and also his Bankai in the second phase. So we can definitely expect Mayuri's Bankai to be part of the kit. And I'm very curious to see how that is going to play out for a support character. Besides the buffs that Kisuke does gives, one of the best things about him is how short of the time he is on the field. He's very in and out in terms of his gameplay. So with the idea that someone's going to have a transformation ultimate where he activates the Bankai, how is that going to work for a team's rotation? Because if he is going to take up a lot of screen time presence, given that he has a big Bankai, right? It could be like Sergeant, where you're only in it for like maybe 5-10 seconds max. But if the buffs he provides is good for the team, that's going to be still good regardless. If he takes up a little bit more screen time when compared to a character like Kisuke, maybe at the same time they could make his Bankai, although I doubt it, to be something like Rebirth of Souls, where he activates the Bankai and he kind of just chills in the back. You don't really use the Bankai as part of the gameplay, but he's still there, adding extra effects to the team. That might be cool for a transforming big Bankai character support unit, where you activate the Bankai doesn't deal any damage per se, maybe an initial hit, and at that point, everyone's just getting extra effects. Maybe he's debuffing the enemy. You know, he could be a debuffer. One would maybe expect it, and that's also going to be the weird part too, with him being a spirit character, is because you would expect Mayuri to be an element damage character, right? He can apply poison. And maybe element damage will be a big thing about his character, but he's not going to be providing any element damage bonuses because, you know, Toshiro and definitely Aizen don't need that. But maybe him being a spirit character, he might still be an element support character, because that's definitely been the big push in the game the last few character releases. You know, Gin is the element damage, Kenpachi was surprisingly an element damage character, and then Nelio is also another element character that also boosts element mastery damage too for your entire team. So maybe I wouldn't be surprised, despite him being a spirit character, Mayuri would be a element damage support. That would be very weird though, to be using him alongside Gin and Nelio, Frost characters, and he's a spirit support character. But maybe he could be a universal support for strictly, you know, element characters, kind of like Kisuke is that right now. He's a slash character, but you do use them in like every team. So in a way, there's definitely a lot of possibilities with this character, but from a gameplay standpoint, again, going back to the Frenzy Feast real quick, I'm really hoping in the future we can get a skin for this character, because Mayuri right now, what we have been seeing with new characters is that they do try to incorporate everything in that character's kit. So we definitely are going to see his Bankai, but I would also like to see the superhuman potion. Specifically the one that he does do against Zyopro, and I would also like to get his Hueco Mundo design. I personally prefer it over the, you know, original Bankai Mayuri that we do see here. I don't expect us to get 2 Mayuri character releases, so it will be cool if they can incorporate his Bankai and also superhuman potion, you know, attack that he does do against Zapro, and then also maybe give us a skin in the future where we can have his base design, his Soul Society design, and then also eventually his Hueco Mundo design. That, for the most part, was pretty much what Rebirth of Souls did as well, so I would hope they kind of go down a similar route as what Rebirth of Souls did do with this new character release. But to continue on the speculation, right? Because again, Nelio was a slash tactic unit as a data mines character, right? That's what she always was, and then she got changed to a Frost tactic unit. So is there a chance Mayuri won't be a support character, and could he be something else? If he's not going to be a support spirit, I could definitely see him maybe being a strike tactic unit, which would be very weird to release before a character like Grimja, right? The full assault strike unit. But I have been seeing people maybe hope that he will be a tactic unit for the strike team, just so strike can get something, right? Because they do need something. But also because what we have been seeing, although I don't expect it to keep up, right? So if they do break it now with Mayuri, it's not that big of a deal. But we have been seeing some good synergy, you know. Yachiru literally wants Kenpachi in the team. Kenpachi gets more buffs with Yachiru in the team. But they're both slash characters. When it comes to Gin and also Rangiku, they're both Frost characters. Toshiro and also Momo are the same typing and want to be used together, right? We've been seeing some good synergy with characters thus far. So as Nemu is basically the last like support character alongside, you know, Rangiku, Yachiru, and also Momo, it would be maybe nice to see some synergy with her, with Mayuri's release maybe being a tactic strike character that can be used alongside Nemu as the go-to support character for this team. So either way, to recap the video, main takeaway, right now, Mayuri does seem to be the next confirmed character in Bleach Soul Resonance, releasing in just 10 days time. We will get official confirmation in a couple of days time, and when we do, we will talk about it. As of right now, until otherwise confirmed, he does seem to be a spirit support character. So that's something to look forward to. Finally, time for us to see what limited support characters are going to be capable of now that Kisuke has had months to run through every single team. And in the comments below, let me know your hopes and wants for Mayuri as a character, whether that's from a, skill standpoint or a gameplay standpoint. Again, I'm hoping to see his superhuman potion. I'm hoping to see his Bankai. I would love to get a Hueco Mundo skin if he isn't going to be that at the start. And I would hope that he's just an overall good character because I will be summoning for him. So if the idea that he is going to boost spirit characters, or most likely he is going to be an element support character and make characters like Kenpachi, Gin, and Nereo better, I'm all here for it. It's going to be even better. But anyway, that's the video for today. Let me know what you like to think about Mayuri potentially being the next character. And let's see you guys next time. Take care and peace.